They will read, and you will jot down the points, what the suggestions in the comments, when you set the suggestions in the comments.
All right, folks.
Are specific areas.
Thank you for joining us on this sanitation program. CSO sanitation program. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So thank you so much.
You guys are ready?
Presentation after the meeting, there is a resolution being prepared. So we are about to join the podium so that they can read the resolution to us. Sky television. Watching Sky.
All right, you guys are all right? Are you guys ready? All right. So your project, why you consider? Or you can just say project and give me the back of it. All right. You enlarge the skill. Okay.
You will read?
Can you see this from down there?
So, no, I think you're able to read from there.
All right. Okay. So you read through it. Please take notes. Am I audible enough? No, he's reading.
You.
Do you want to get that?
So, to read the Korean resolution signed, sealed, and done in the Korean hotel, we, the undersigned CSOs and wide sector actors, attending a one-day consultative meeting organized by Compassion for Humanity, C4H, with support from the USAID, funded countrywide sanitation activity, CWSA, being implemented by the consortium of international NGOs, led by Population Services International, PSI, specifically focusing on Result 1, improved sanitation governance of the CWSA, had unanimously committed to the advocacy campaign for the establishment of a standing committee on water, sanitation, and hygiene in the Liberian legislature as follows. One, that a petition be formally submitted to the legislature to ensure that a standing committee on water, sanitation, and hygiene is established. Two, that we will participate in legislative engagements to formalize the WAS caucus into a standing committee within the legislature. Three, that we will identify more champions of advocacy for the establishment of a WAS standing committee at the national legislature with variety of inclusive women, youth, and persons in need of specific attention, as well as all vulnerable persons. Four, that we will facilitate the works of the committee to support wide oversight and budgetary allocations at the national legislature for adequately meeting the needs of the country. Five, that we will propose, approve, one all sanitation governance in the country for reducing the burden of health economic challenges on the citizens. 6. That the WASH committee will strengthen the national WASH policy communication to promote sector-wide behavior change. 7. That the National Legislative WASH Caucus Secretariat be strengthened to ensure continuous championing of WASH issues at the national legislature. 8. That the government of Liberia, through the standing committee, will ensure the standardization and regulate activities of the WASH sector. 9. The WASH Commission lead the standing committee's establishment advocacy campaign at the national and sub-national level of government institutions. 10. The last but not the least, that we will facilitate the activities of the WASH committee to establish county-wide WASH campaign for improved national and local water management, sanitation, and hygiene behavior change and practices in every part of the country. Done under our signatures on the 13th day of February AD 2023.
Comments, your suggestions, and inputs so that we can insert it into it. Where there is need for correction, we correct it, and then finally we'll print out this copy. Will be signed by all the institutions that are represented here. Okay? Does anyone have a suggestion or correction? We can make some corrections on it, point number 9, maybe put it as the consumption, CSO, it seems that leading the process instead of the workshop. So we then make that correction at number 9. Can we do that then, please? And number 3, but you can report on the activity. But I think what sales actors are saying is that they want to commit themselves to ensure that they are all champions. The legislature to lead it. That is what your job is. Okay, so that's something that's what we petition. Yeah. Let's move number 3 and let's edit number 9. Yes, and then one other thing, thank you very much, Koji, for adding the private sector on that. And we had that one. So today, how do you have that?
Thinking more of a multi-stakeholder approach from that end.
Okay.
What type of practice will government practice and authority?
But it's important to highlight private sector.
We are facing, and I talk about we are struggling to find the private sector attracted to the sector, wash in general. Our colleagues in Wiblon cannot find private sector who is interested to provide the water infrastructure. Not because it's not a promising opportunity, but there are policy and regulations that are hindering them from. They see the opportunity, but they are scared of going there. Because there are multiple people coming to collect fees. You have to pay this and this and this and that. And still, with a lot of unclarity around policy. So it's about providing an enabling environment for private sector to play a role in water and sanitation.
Okay.
So you need to advocate on the government. It's about to believe that it a lot of assessment which identifies bottlenecks for private sector in water sector. And therefore, those bottlenecks identified and advocate.
So create a regulatory framework.
Enabling environment. Yes.
Environment. Now, in the private sector.
Yes.
To have a role. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, 1 year, I think we all went through the 100 years deliverable. That was part of our discussion. Then we will start being left out or left behind. It continues. What we saw in the deliverable, what did not just solid waste? Do we sit there and agree to make it a point on our resolution that indeed the arrest platform specifically we want to see more action left declaring war on open defecation by this government? Do we intend to include it? Because we have to agree before we can have it included. We saw it now. We all know what it is costing us every year. So we actors here, do we agree to call on the legislature or other actors that the president should declare war on open defecation in the shortest possible time? Do we agree on how do we point it? Or the arrest platform be more inclusive of other sanitation issues? How do you think we can work it out? If we see the need, fine. You don't see the need, that's fine. Yes, sir. Then we kill two birds with one stone. Yes, sir.
Maybe I can add to
Thank you very much. Our first observation is from seven. And 7 talk about this good report. Just a correction of and 7. And 7. Okay, let's take it from there.
Okay, Secretariat.
Yeah. So the next way you talk about declaring war or declare yes war on open defecation.
Yeah.
Again, from the previous presentations, that I also understood that from the past regime up to present, the issue of budgetary allocation is a problem. Of recent, I just came from Cape Town, where I did some research in 6 districts. The issue of open defecation is very key. Now, with this constraint, I think to just agree on this, we need to also maybe look at to be able to do more consultation with other, national and sub-national, because people are living on less than dollar. Of course, the policy rate And then with the kind of new government coming to transition to just come up with that, I think we can reform that to see how we can work a bit better with that. Thank you.
Right. So you want to provide
I think sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So in addition to what he was saying, declaring a war on open defecation is a very pivotal thing for we citizens. But now, looking at the data you provided and looking at the percentage of people with access to facilities is a serious challenge. So there will be a high need for budgetary allocations, as we are all saying, that we can have institutions or we can have place of access for these people, because mostly open defecation is practiced in the rural end, and there are people facing serious challenges accessing public toilets and other things, and we must make them available to declare war on such things.
So let me just provide this clarity, all right? The government have arrests. Arrest extends for what? The sanitation issue. Yeah. Considering losing 70.5 million annually due to poor sanitation, it's a call for emergency.
Yes.
If the government should, because the government is developed. So I just thought to say, so we have various actors here. Can we, when we declare war, it doesn't mean that automatically we have PRS, we still put OSHA, we have the other one states happening. But let us make them look at this as a priority for the people. Declare war on open defecation. When you declare war, of course, you find bills to provide services, you want bills for allocation. But indeed, the government says that this is something that he said, well, war on emergency on drugs, right? Doesn't mean that you're going to provide extra. No, but the government says blood issue is what? Emergency, health emergency. So similarly, we say sanitation is key for us. Therefore, declare war on open defecation, or say it's on health emergency. Issue of open defecation. That is, we want to see something like that, whether it's doable. That's the point. It's okay. Yeah. Secretary of Staff, what do we say? We modify it, but then absolute action that the issue of, because we have honest too. Even the new people that come into the sanitation they will not tell you what it entails. But we the 91 ones, we are calling them to declare war or emergency on any open defecation in the country. Are we together? Secretary of Staff, we call it so we can wrap up. Secretary of Staff. Yes, sir. Yes.
So I think there are two issues here that I think we need to strike a balance from what I'm gathering from the team. One is the issue of the arrest strategy, which has already started to deliver the 100 days delivery, focused on solid waste management. And the question lingering in my mind is, could there be a misinterpretation of sanitation to mean solid waste management? If we accept to continue like this with that interpretation, then a lot of wash needs are going to be left out. So that's my observation, and for you to think about. If in 100 days the priority is solid waste management, is it likely that by the time the strategy is finalized, because the strategy is not yet finalized, the needs to be a full strategy, is it likely that other aspects of the wash sector, including sanitation and water, are going to be left out? Water may not be left out, but right now we are seeing already from 100 days that all the strategy for sanitation is focused on solid waste management. Do you think that sanitation is equally important or of a bigger priority? I think that's a question that Peter is asking. And then how do we frame that to reflect actions that civil society needs to take immediately before the government goes far with this approach?
So I think that what are we? Are we trying to structure something? Yes, like I was saying, drugs have emergency doesn't mean that. So let me tell you the truth. Most of the guys coming on board, we have to call them to stakeholder engagement to give them the light on issue of sanitation. Most of them will be in touch. But if we to begin from there, I know they will go wide back in the media. I know they have that consulting in the media. That will let this out of we do it. Yes,
so I think we need some progress. So at that point, I think we should also consider the government declared emergency on sanitation, is there open education, and then on being as we go ensure the sector for active private sector participation
and give the environment
for
active private sector participation.
Is that okay? Yeah. The pastor law? All the influences, yeah. Again, our suggestion of matter that will go back in our come on. Yeah, that's it. The petition formally will be submitted. But kind of being the present tense because this is something you submit it. We hereby submit this petition. It can be, it will be submitted. Yes.
Yes, that's what number one. It's hereby submitted. Right. That the petition is hereby formally submitted.
Let us go in the room and I said.
That the petition is hereby formally submitted. Is hereby.
Is it that you look at English?
Yeah.
All can I hear all them? I'm okay. So is it this particular documentation we have to? So it was, it's a petition, which petition are you talking about? So there was a this petition.
Okay. Thank you very much for everyone for that information. I'll just really do if we are specific. Because when you are doing a resignation, you should look at what should be the result, what you want to yield as a result. So also looking at this document are going to be submitted to the government, right? And there should be a time frame. Somebody from the government will tell you that we are here up to 6 years. So when do we want to have this happening? So let's see where we have, because if we want to achieve this from now to the end of the year 2024, let me a little bit specific so that and then we'll have yeah, thank you so much. That was all. Let me already talk about families, so yeah,
So another thing that I would like to call your attention on is to be more strategic as to what we want. We already have in the 100 days in the report president of this new regime that talks about sanitation. And I'm sure that every one of us in this room have getting that particular action plan and have read it. If the only verification is what we want, please be specific. Instead of just being holistic about sanitation. And from what I'm seeing in the document that I read, is that the government is totally concerned about the solid waste. So all of the action plans and things will be able to consider that speaks to the solid waste. So if the only dedication is what we want, let's be more specific and hit it. You advocacy you don't have behind your shadow. Please, let's be specific. Thank you.
All right, so my understanding about that sanitation issue is open dedication. The past government developed an agenda to end open dedication for 5 years. And they almost to the end, 1% have not been achieved. But then under the advice, they were very specific on sanitation. So our point now is the same way you are specific on drugs and then you declare drugs an emergency. Let sanitation be declared as an emergency, and then some of those issues that are included in the sanitation, solid waste, the open dedication, you can address it.
Yes, please, just a minute. So the point here is what she said, they have solid waste, looking at Monrovia as a focus, all over their issues. The conglomerates here are considering several standards of rural which are better for most. And then if there's nothing wrong with single out in delegation. I think that will take us straight to the point. Because everywhere you talk around issue of OP delegation, the fact that the road one was there for 5 years was not signed. And then we have today the OP delegation issue speaks one of our draft to end OP delegation. So I think there will be several engagements. But the fact that this is a challenge, and the reason is just simple, 70.5 million apology to this. So I think I will go with 4. Let me specific. Why about drugs? Because we have seen the challenges of drug addiction people. And the issue of we see the impact of it. So we'll be specific and attack it. Declare the emergency or declare war with that.
Thank you.
So the motion for reconsideration.
Thank you,
and so Senator Sir, just like just in the time,
thank you.
move on.
Somebody talk about target, so
You don't want to do that. You don't allow the professors to do the editing and all the suggestions that were proposed, very, very important. Yes.
No comment.
But also there is that the attention to the local education. If you look at the draft arrest that's going around, the 100 days that's going around for sanitation, it is just specific things under sanitation. It talks about market, talked about public places, talked about FIAMA, FSM. But did not mention open education. Yes or no, there are no other. So that's why we're saying specifically under the sanitation pillar, put open the education and declare the state of emergency and continue to do every other thing. Yeah, so it's not removing sanitation.
It's okay. Thank you so much. So, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, clarifying this,
I just want to make one call to us, civil society actors. They set up civil society organization are not many in the past. We are making the open call that we increase our relevance in the sector. There are other sectors in the area of education, health, other civil society organizations. The CSO WatchNet is open to other civil society organizations. You can subscribe. As we have a new government, we strengthen our voices for the voiceless. We can make a greater impact for our country. The issue of sanitation, water hygiene, at the GSR, we made it clear. Let hygiene be a specific issue that we can source funding for. It was hygiene hand washing that helped us during the coronavirus to fight the virus. So we can't overlook and underestimate hand washing in our schools, our marketplaces, in our homes. People need to know. The children go to school to learn about hand washing, and the company will teach their parents. Mama, I have to wash my hands before I eat my food. Mama, you wash your hands and you are cooking the food. These are all teachings. And so we want to make a call to all of you guys who are civil society organizations, be it flower, links, or whatsoever. We all can contribute and make the umbrella organization bigger and strengthen our voices. Was at the city hall, things the city hall, and there was the issue of resource and recovery program that was launched there. And UNDP want to fund something on solid waste. So all of the partners who want to work with Liberia, we as civil society, we need to work with them. When they don't understand, or maybe they understand, but the way the issue is going, we can identify the issues and work with them and build collaboration that can be stronger. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to read what we have edited. And then, yes, we're going to read our edit. And then we'll read it out. And then we'll sign up to it.
All right, folks.
So
the corona resolution here at the WASH
We also CSO Watch Center and the one-day consultative meeting organized by Compassion for Humanity C4H with support from the USAID funded county-wide sanitation activity (CWSA) being implemented by a consortium of international NGOs led by Population Services International (PSR), specifically focusing on Result 1, improve sanitation governance of the CWSA, have unanimously committed to the advocacy campaign for the establishment of the Standing Committee on Water, Sanitation and Hygiene in the Liberian Legislature as follows to wit. That this petition is hereby formally submitted to the legislature to ensure that a Standing Committee on Water, Sanitation and Hygiene is established. That we will participate in legislative engagement to formalize the Watch Caucus into a standing committee within the legislature with a variety of inclusive women, youth, and persons in need of special attention, as well as other vulnerable persons. That we will facilitate the works of the committee to support Watch oversight in budgetary the country for reducing the burden of health and economic challenges in the city. That the WASH committee will strengthen the national WASH policy communication to promote sector-wide behavioral change. That the National Legislative WASH Caucus Secretariat be strengthened to ensure continuous championing of WASH issues at the legislature, at the national legislature. That the government of Liberia, through the Standing Committee, will ensure the standardization of and regulate activities of the WASH sector. That WASH CSO, WASH sector consortium, and private sector stakeholders lead and support that we will facilitate the activities of the WASH committee to counter-wide WASH champion, WASH campaign for improved national and local water management, sanitation, and hygiene behavior change and practices in every part of the country. That the government of Liberia, as part of its arrest agenda under the sanitation bills, declares a national emergency on open defecation and ensure a healthy environment for active private sector participation. Done all our signatures on the 30th day of February 2024 at Corona Hotel, 26 Street, Cinco. So I think we did the best we can with this. The most important thing is to have a governance structure in place. Policies, all the other policies in the other activities can evolve as time go by. Once the governance structure is in place, we can do the rest of them. Yes, sir. Timothy. Number 8.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching this live broadcast here at local project here in Monrovia. And for the WASH, CSO, and national stakeholder engagement. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is how we come to the next.
In organizations, however, we have feedback from the youth community that was represented in the young agency. So that request for feedback of what they did, what area,